Have you ever heard the phrase, God loves a cheerful giver? It's a beautiful sentiment found in 2 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 7. But let's be honest for a moment. How cheerful can you really be when you're broke? When you're staring at a stack of bills, living paycheck to paycheck, and the idea of giving feels less like a joyful act and more like a painful sacrifice. You want to give, your heart desires to be generous, but the reality of your bank account makes it a source of stress and anxiety, not cheerfulness. This is a struggle for so many of us. We read the scriptures, we hear the sermons, and we feel this pull to be generous stewards of what God has given us. The verse says, "Each of you should give what you have decided in your heart to give, not reluctantly or under compulsion, for God loves a cheerful giver." The key words there are not reluctantly or under compulsion, but when you're financially stretched thin, every dollar given can feel like compulsion. You might give out of a sense of duty or even guilt, but is it truly cheerful? Is it the joyful, overflowing generosity that God delights in? When you're worried about how you'll afford groceries next week, or if you can cover an unexpected car repair, giving can feel like you're taking away from your family's security. It becomes a zero-sum game in your mind. Either I provide for my family or I give to the church and to others. This creates an internal conflict that is the exact opposite of the peace and joy that should accompany our faith. And this is where a huge misconception comes into play. For years, many of us in the faith community have been taught, either directly or indirectly, that wanting to build wealth is somehow greedy, selfish, or unspiritual. We've been told that to be holy is to be poor, or at least to live with just enough. But I want to challenge that perspective today. What if building wealth, when done with the right heart and for the right reasons, isn't greedy at all? What if it's actually an act of obedience? Think about it. When you have financial margin, when your needs are met, and there's more left over, generosity completely transforms. It stops being a painful decision and starts being a joyful opportunity. It's no longer about giving from your scarcity, from your last little bit. It's about giving from your overflow, from the abundance that God has blessed you with. This is the difference between giving a cup of water when you only have one bottle left in the desert, versus giving a cup of water when you're standing next to a gushing, endless spring. One is a sacrifice born of desperation. The other is a joyful sharing of abundance. When you have built financial capacity, you can respond to needs without hesitation. A friend loses their job? You can help them bridge the gap. Your church has a vision to expand its outreach. You can contribute significantly without worrying about your own budget. A missionary needs support? You can become a consistent, reliable partner in their ministry. This is what it means to be a prosperous steward. It's not about hoarding wealth for your own comfort and luxury. It's about building the capacity to be a greater blessing to the world around you. It's about creating a bigger pipeline through which God's resources can flow to where they are needed most. True prosperity in a biblical sense isn't just about having more, it's about being able to give more. It's about having the freedom to say yes whenever God prompts your heart to be generous. Consider the parable of the talents in Matthew 25. The master was angry with the servants who had a lot of money. He was angry with the one servant who did nothing with what he was given. He praised the servants who took what they had and multiplied it. This teaches us a powerful lesson about stewardship. God entrusts us with resources, our time, our talents, and our treasure, and He expects us to be fruitful with them, to grow them, to increase them. Why? So that we can have a greater impact for His kingdom. Building wealth, therefore, can be a profound act of worship and obedience, a way of saying, God, I want to manage what you've given me so well that I can be radically generous for your glory. It's about expanding your territory so you can bless more people. So how do we get there? How do we move from a mindset of scarcity and reluctant giving to a place of abundance and cheerful generosity? It doesn't happen by accident. It requires intentionality, wisdom, and a clear plan. It means learning the principles of budgeting, saving, investing, and debt elimination from a biblical perspective. It means understanding that God is our source, but He also calls us to be wise managers. It's about aligning our financial practices with our faith, creating a system where our wealth grows and our generosity can grow right along with it. This is the journey from being a stressed-out giver to a prosperous steward. It's a path toward financial freedom that is ultimately not for our own sake, but for the sake of being a greater conduit of God's love and provision in the world. It's about getting to a place where you can write a check for a ministry or a person in need, and the only emotion you feel is pure joy. No anxiety, no reluctance, just the simple, profound happiness of partnering with God in His work. If this idea resonates with you, if you're tired of the financial stress that stifles your generosity, and you're ready to learn how to build wealth for the purpose of giving, then I have something that can help. The Prosperous Steward is a program designed to show you exactly how to do this. We walk you through the practical steps and the biblical principles to build the financial capacity to become the cheerful, generous giver you were created to be. Don't let financial struggle hold you back from the joy of giving any longer. Build a foundation of abundance so you can give from your overflow. The link is in the bio. Click it to start your journey toward becoming a prosperous steward today. Thank you for watching.